It finishes Fulham 2, Liverpool 2, and I have a lot to get off my chest, my friends. I'm going to take you through my opinions of how we played. Little spoiler alert, it wasn't great. I'm going to talk through the major refereeing decisions as well. But look, first off, I want to welcome you all to a new season. This is the first match reaction of the new season. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm presuming a lot of them will be telling me I'm deluded and I'm wrong, but that's okay. Do drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button for me. Right, look, let's start with team selection today from Jurgen Klopp. He got it wrong. He got it wrong. He got it very, very wrong. I don't know what Darwin Núñez has to do to prove to Jurgen Klopp that he is far more effective than Roberto Firmino. Firmino stunk the place up today. He is my favourite Liverpool player, and I am saying he stunk the place up today. That being said, we did have some bright spells during the game, but we will get to them a little bit later on. Let's start off with how we began the game. And we didn't match Fulham's intensity level, we didn't match their work rate, and they were quicker and wanted the ball more all around the pitch. The first goal was coming. We got a warning from Mitrovic. He toe poked one wide past Alisson's left hand post. And then for the goal, and I say this so many times watching Liverpool, we are at our most vulnerable in possession. So Jordan Henderson, let's say for now, was dispossessed in the opposition half. The ball then broke and Robbo didn't block the cross. That's error number one. Andy Robertson should have blocked the cross. Didn't put in enough effort and the ball's put to the far post. Now once the ball's put to the far post, Trent has to be aware of what's going on around him. He wasn't. Alexander Mitrovic does what Alexander Mitrovic does, which is steal back post headers, uses physicality, and the ball was in the net. So errors strewn all over the place, giving the ball away in attack, getting caught out, not blocking crosses, ball watching at the far post, we're 1-0 down. Now, we ask ourselves, hang on a minute here, was Jordan Henderson fouled there? Why, of course he was fouled. He was stood upon. But no fear everybody, because Stuart Atwell's in VAR. We know what that means. Liverpool aren't going to get a thing. So, that goal stood, fair enough. I was able to swallow that. We move on. We then try and find our way back into the game. Bit by bit, we wrestled a little bit of control back after the first half hour. Diaz was very unlucky. His strike hit the post. Nothing more he could have done about that. And the frustration continued. Half time comes. We're all looking around going, surely Jurgen Klopp's going to bring Darwin on a half time. Surely Jurgen Klopp can see that our midfield is not involved in this game whatsoever. That Thiago has been terrible. That Henderson just doesn't look right in that position. And that Fabinho hasn't been his best. Nope. Jurgen Klopp once again sends the same team out to start the second half. What then happens? Thiago pulls a hamstring. So Thiago pulls a hamstring and the changes are forced to be made. Jurgen Klopp makes the changes and Darwin comes on as well. Brilliant. We start to look a bit better when Darwin comes on. But, and this is a very important point, Jurgen Klopp thinks we don't need any more midfielders. Jurgen Klopp said that we're fully stocked with midfielders. Our midfielders, though, happen to be made of Weetabix at times. And once again now, Curtis Jones is injured. We've got Thiago, who's now injured. We have Costa Simicas, our left back, injured. Ibrahim Konate, injured. Who else am I missing out on here that's injured? I'm sure there's at least two more players that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. Kelleher, injured. Gordon, injured. Calvin Ramsey, injured. But we don't need it. Our squad's plenty big enough. Our bench today was not good enough. I know Jota's also another injury with a hamstring, but we needed a stronger bench. And if that's how we're starting the league campaign, it's clear we need another midfielder. If the performance isn't enough to tell you we probably need another midfielder, then the lack of depth, with Chamberlain out as well, another one, shock horror, injury prone. So yeah, look, we looked better when Darwin came on and we got ourselves a goal and we found our way back into the game and it was a really well worked goal. Great bit of innovative play from Harvey Elliott to spot the little ball over his shoulder into Mohamed Salah. Salah played a beautiful ball across the 6-yard box. After that, Fulham were a little bit unlucky because it hits their defender and then comes back up onto Darwin's heel as he flicks it into the goal. Brilliant for us. Darwin's equalised. You think to yourself, right, that's it. We've brushed the errors off. Let's go on and win the game, right? No, we didn't go on and win the game. What happens? Joel Matip tries to pass the ball through midfield, gives it to a Fulham player. Again, remember, us in possession, not being comfortable, being vulnerable. And then Virgil van Dijk is, and I say this very carefully, adjudged to have fouled Alexander Mitrovic. Now, here's my question, and here's my problem with VAR. Firstly, if Henderson's not fouled, and that's not enough contact for a foul, how is that enough contact in the penalty for a foul? Now, I understand you're going to say to me, Craig, you're being biased here. Jordan Henderson wasn't touched. He was stood on. Should have been a foul, but ultimately it wasn't. And I swallowed that. Remember? We talked about that a few minutes ago. But then, the briefest of contact on Mitrovic, who goes flopping down like a fish, and Andy Madley could not point to the spot quick enough. And then Stuart Atwell, surely he'll ask him to go to the monitor. Surely Stuart Atwell will say, hang on a minute, ref, look at this. Will he, you know what? No, he didn't. He gave the pen. Of course he did. Hypocrisy again from VAR. Not enough contact in one area of the pitch. Absolutely nailed on pen in the other area of the pitch. It is what it is. We still find a way back into the game though. Mohamed Salah gets an equaliser. And then we think to ourselves, can we get the grandstand finish? Can we keep pushing on? Jordan Henderson has a cracking strike, and unfortunately for him, rattles off the keeper's crossbar, and that was to be that. Now look, Fulham deserve something from this game. No doubt about that. And well done to them. It's a great start to the Premier League campaign for them. And Marco Silva will be very happy with how his team played today and how hard they worked. Particularly Alexander Mitrovic, who was given man of the match. I can't argue with it. He put himself about and was a real good focal point for them in attack. But what we need to learn from this game is that Roberto Firmino, no matter how much Jurgen Klopp tells us how great he looks on the training ground, it is not transmitting to the pitch, and Darwin looks like a different animal when he comes on. We look like a better team when he comes on. We also need somebody like Elliott or Carvalho to be in there buzzing around to try to make things happen, because that midfield, and I can't believe I'm about to say this with Thiago in it, was just devoid of ideas in the first half. It was pedantic, it was pedestrian, we were just knocking the ball around, playing it in front of Fulham, and we didn't turn them, and we couldn't get Mo involved in the game at all until Darwin came on in the second half. Now, look, us not being able to get Mo involved in the game was partially down to how well Fulham man-marked him. Fair play to them. But it's not good enough for us, is it? What's the one criticism we had last season? What really cost us? Too many unnecessary draws. You go and score 2 goals away from home on the opening day of the Premier League, you expect to be taking the 3 points. We didn't. We need to learn from it, and we need to learn from it quickly. Jurgen Klopp needs to stop playing favourites now and realise that we need newer blood in. Darwin needs to play. Diaz, Darwin, Salah. That's the front three. Play it. Who comes in behind them? That's up to the manager. Can I understand him starting that midfield today? Yes, absolutely. Henderson's been exceptionally good in pre-season. Today, not so much until Fabinho went off. Then I felt Henderson's influence on the game started to grow. Now for some more negative points. Trent and Robbo, not good enough today. They will be good enough. There will be plenty more good days ahead for those two gentlemen. But today, they weren't blocking enough crosses and they weren't effective enough in the opposition half. That added to our slack passing and the fact that we just cannot head a football. We cannot pick out a Liverpool player with a header. We just can't do it. We just head it into random areas and hope for the best. And also, in the first half, we were launching balls to nobody. And Darwin wasn't up there. Notice when Darwin came on, we were actually able to fight for those balls, win second balls and get runners off them. So I hope that Jurgen Klopp swallows his pride and starts to realise that Firmino's best days look like they are unfortunately behind him. And yes, he could have a role to play in this season, but it should not be as our starting centre forward. Let me know your thoughts on the big decisions. Let me know your thoughts on the VAR incidents. And look, I know you're going to tell me it was a penalty, and I understand where you're coming from, but I don't know how anybody can, in good conscience, say one is a penalty and then Hendo isn't fouled. They're either both fouls or neither of them are fouls, in my opinion. It is what it is. We are where we are. Stuart Atwell, you know my thoughts on him. I want to know your thoughts on him. Again, appreciate your support as always, my friends. We will be live on our Twitch channel all this season for any watch-alongs. Do come over and join us for them. My man of the match, from a Liverpool perspective, you know what? He's only on 35 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm giving it to Darwin. From a Fulham perspective, I think BT got it right. Mitrovic was a really good focal point for them in attack. So look, I genuinely wish Marco Silva and Fulham all the best because I have a lot of time for them. They're a good football club, but From us, I don't know what to say. We need to be better. We will be better, but we cannot keep slipping up at silly draws. We can't allow Manchester City to get ahead of us. We need to be at it, and we need to start winning games very, very quickly. Right, my friends, I'm going to leg it. Enjoy your weekend if you can. I will see you guys hopefully over on Twitch. We have a couple of watch-alongs on there tomorrow. I'll be back on there tonight at 8:30 for a live show if you want to join me for all the latest Liverpool news and rumours. And hopefully we'll have some sounds of a potential midfield signing, because despite what our manager says, I love him, but he's wrong. We need another midfielder. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.